One of my most favorite subjects to read about, talk about, research is human sexuality. And I think this interest kind of first started when I came out as gay, because that led me to kind of wondering, well, why am I gay? Where does gayness come from? What makes a person gay? And I kind of started doing research into that, and that led to all these other subsections of human sexuality, and it opened up this world to me, and I found it so fascinating for several reasons. One because I think it fascinates me how human sexuality is so diverse. It's not just I like to fuck her or I like to fuck him. There's so many different facets of it. There's sexual identity, there's gender, there's intercourse, there's sexual positions, there's sexual anatomy, um, there's all kinds of stuff. There's fetishes, and it's just it's one of the most complex subjects on the planet, and the fact that we've researched it so little until the past 100 years is astounding to me. And I think that's another thing. I think it's also not that I can't look at it clinically, but it's also kind of a morbidly fascinating subject. Since it's something that we don't talk about in our personal lives very frequently. There's kind of this morbid fascination with it because it's like this secret, that everyone hides from one another. But also, I think also I just find the psychology of it interesting. What makes people the certain ways, and the many facets that it can break off into. And recently, one of the things that I've kind of had on my mind recently is bisexuality. And I suppose the thing that, and I have an interesting position considering bisexuality, because my boyfriend Aaron is himself bisexual. So I have kind of this interesting viewpoint where I can actually ask him personally, like, how does it feel being bisexual? What's it like being bisexual? When did you realize you were attracted to the same sex? Stuff like that, and so I just find it very interesting because I suppose I kind of admire the bisexual because I kind of believe that it's one of the most purest forms of sexuality. I believe that every human and animal, and every creature is bisexual to some extent. And I don't mean we're all literally bisexual, but I identify myself as homosexual, but I can also see what makes a woman attractive. I can look at a woman and think she's sexy, but I'm not necessarily going to have a physical attraction to her, and I'm not going to be interested in pursuing a relationship because my preference is for men. So I'm not saying that we're all literally bisexual, though a lot of us are. I'm not saying we're all literally bisexual, but I believe that we all have bisexual tendencies and we all have bisexual thoughts, and I suppose I see that as like a pure form of sexuality, and so I kind of admire the bisexual in that regard because I see it as, here's someone who's really broken, the sexual barrier, and they love both genders. They can see the attraction in both kinds of people. They don't discriminate. They don't, they might have a preference toward one gender or another, but they don't care. It doesn't matter to them. And I don't. I suppose part of me admires that, and is fascinated by that. The fact that to these people, gender and sex do not matter. It's you love who you love, and part of me just kind of wishes the world could be like that. It shouldn't matter who you're attracted to. It doesn't matter. And it's just who you love, and that's what I believe has that's why I believe I'm so interested in it, and intrigued by it. It'd be very interesting if we could do more research into bisexuals. Like what makes someone predisposed to be bisexual. Because we've already done research into what makes someone predisposed to be gay or heterosexual. So, but what makes someone predisposed to be bisexual? And if there's already test results out there or studies or something, feel free to share because I think it'd be really interesting if we could figure something out. So that's just something that I've kind of been thinking about recently, and something that's been on my mind regarding sexuality. So sorry if I rambled a little bit. I didn't plan this out, but it's just something that I've been thinking about and that I thought was kind of interesting, and I just felt like sharing my thoughts. Have a good day. Bye.